Menya lawyer law nya dia mesua. Menya sure say me lawyer ni da.
Bomazen. Ola's baby no pere lawyer. A
man should know his limitations and capabilities.
That's
long come brabon.
I got one more accounting you.
But something is happening in the legal profession. Apart from Professor Tugubade, which we'll discuss fully.
Students.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Said there's a petition in Parliament from Professor Asari, and General Legal Counsel so BB about admission to Ghana School of Law. For the first time since over 80% of students at our law school have failed. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, weird,
I find it, I don't know, my dream, I can't think far. But somehow, you may want to tie it in with Niekosono, with Baby Professor Sarifi, Baby Parliament is because BTA Muntaka Mubarak, also he's collecting signatures and he's going to lobby MPs to throw that bill out. Because Ofu say,
but are they restricting the profession to a few?
Well, that is what it seems at this point.
Yes,
that is what it seems. And beyond that, 383 students. Really? No, there's something wrong.
You are more lecturers, so assessing students. Said the report in the court. Now our class of first 50. Now what your man dear no coincidence.
No more
20% pass it.
As a teacher, I got a problem. Exactly my point.
That is exactly what I said.
Mokola has become old.
It doesn't make sense to me.
KNUST. Why can't you also set an in there? Your temple in
oil UK.
No, you walk to Kwaba. No, you walk Mokola.
No, law school.
Law school or Cape Coast University.
No, we fully.
I say, you Makola.
Cape Coast.
I say, you Makola, Yenya Kotograba.
Yenya Kotograba, Yenya Kejetia. Simple ABCD.
But as you may tell it seems okay. It seems to my mind, I don't have any evidence, but it seems all choreographed. Say, can you say, Sabi, Yashishe, and Yaye. Say, okay, you see, Empini. Okay, they didn't call
power lies.
I failed, 80% have failed. What? 80,
conspiracy theories.
Oh, but of course I'm entitled. Ojam, see, if
I'm not.
I know.
No, you are speaking aloud.
You're thinking aloud.
You are speaking
but
aloud.
Ojam, imagine the Yake BEC and now Waxi, and only 19% pass. We'll be up in arms in this country, won't we?
Yes, we are right.
So if 19% of students for law school are passing, now it comes in the general atmosphere of near consuming Peninia. It calls for concern.
Maybe there's a need for a review.
Because AB can say, Ocha Humana Sema, BB Zimo, go to check up. No. Anyway, sometimes quick thoughts, Yanko Atugubadi.
When I saw that on social media,
yes,
I thought say one of those pranks.
I like that, a prank.
Say a debate social media. Yeah. Honestly, if you say a class of that, and now we hear the caliber of students are one for more. I'm telling you, a year exam and they pass the entry exams. Now results no question. Now I say, we are traversing on the path of theories, conspiracies, but. Kogu okeka ba ku mienu sima na kwese na no protein na asem na mka kire ono a ohwe akwan nema nyina ho se bibia wo mfese kid I for to twen letter box no okwan so I also okay mature because obi si no pensisa no anya ma no be ye ntokwa Let's say money with disturbing public peace. What you know for that?
So we have to find a way.
Chairman, as some no enablers, and we are questioning him. We are questioning him. You are the secretary. But I believe that the Ghana Legal Council,
General Legal Council,
one more. It be as almost so eka. Said the Muntaka kind of Saturday or one radio station, then the TV so.
News
Parliament, and so Anamono, almost so no moon share. Bibia me anything education. Me pepao. Una sus rules obey law. Menya akokra mayank mekwa kwelo
onya akokra
akamu but alotezo kwelo ya no be hu no jala body say pa na
amala metilati igaro
kotokra ba no enti
baby igaro so what's your question no joro de ihu mus wakalati
kum eskuntunkum
musu na meja roman going.
Chairman, I believe say any students don't wanna enya. But said the kind if there's an examination, that's a 20% in a pass year. Now close to 70%. You refer among 1 or 2 papers. Now a mube be so that's some the more feeling outright. A cause of federal attack a federal interrogation. Calls for that because Nyamen Kwaye, your university chairman, one particular course. Me kwana na ye group me chire wo mo. Wo mo nyina twa e ba ni manya di. And I'm call lecture no. And I'm Jack. Me paper will say me are competent enough to get AO. Also we are sure to win the so don't worry, the next semester I'm going to take another course now. We'll look at it. Say no be na see here there me no me person me no conspiracy theory here. Say me can say but we need to go further into this matter and look at it. Say mrantian no member na ho no so competencies no and also abadia and also no the General Legal Council no so almost so enhwe na nkoye say okrobi wo yeshi ho no ma and Crawford me a law now the basics on crown now will be so no munim then banasa. But I believe say yes, Parliament I said General Legal Council will be women as individuals no. Now yes we are sharing be okay.
Any comments?
Yo mommy men congratulate you Yaba Fabakura over Sami JV. No yeah.
He's the SRC president there, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. And he's come out with flying colors. And say, Sami, congratulations. And he needs to fight for the others. I see a fighting spirit in him, a young man who can stand up to the truth. And say, what has happened? Until I don't know, fighting and the other colleagues are. Since I was a red pen. Or that mark won't be personal. But it's very frightening, Kwame.
It is.
Mekankane, the Mazi in the was social media.
Somebody won't get to banana.
No, you better
where they just
passing comment.
Mugu by the fireside.
Okay, I be there, Mark me too, because Maba Kakraba no super okay.
Chairman, also too bad. They say me pa when you break them in too bad. They say bibi wala.
Dabi.
Ale je tiado.
On my Mark me to Kakra the legal General Legal Council for one issue is been on the radar for a very long time, and I and me can the arguments between students of law and counseling. Na more petitions na zinya na with these results it tells you that I will show you where power lies. I mean the Mentuma going university into come na here, but the the perception out there. A man for say he no not that about now all day easy to them hinya conspiracy theory. But Miss who conspire will come out with theories. Just to know reasons why. In JE, or the legal counsel as quickly as possible, they need to come out Otherwise, in parents are one mark on we fail one, and then the mature students are what a juma or what's in one say, na wake the course because it's an honor. The wobber for a lawyer. Most as anything. Obi on the law no bono when we are on van go court. Obi on or the one more here. And see, a gefel in will be so then a was pass here. Name Guazabo. And see, your best legal counsel there will review them 80% in Gofia. We feel in 1 month and the quarantine days in a year to ye. No more yet on retreat. No, you're there. Moshu, make sure them will tune on Kisifi. Let's move Ghana forward.
Alote, please don't take advantage of Peace FM and enjoy free watching from Madame Nafisa. Kwesi Bani says that.
Who prestige for in Germany, Mr. Best, I be so busy judge of the good morning. He's one of my best friends.
Not the Bulusa way.
He's one of my best. Now, Busa way don't know what to do.
KSK, it is clear the failure is massive, but the question is, per the facts available, did they fail? The answer is yes. I think we need to look for the reasons for the failure and not whether the school is restricting people from becoming lawyers. Archibald Frimpong and his thoughts. Wafa, any comments on this one?
Well, Kwame, my mom for the text messages back. Think I can near or the last one. Archibald then.
Yeah, Archibald Frimpong.
How was it? Omufili. When one gets a wakoji, Senatiana. Now, Kwame, a banesena fin kwana sadi way so eba. You see, a mini anima edika akase ina yapi. In fact, a bani say na akoye te say mensume wa dibi amede ebitua okase niam bi anko eyia. Na Kwame, yenim say ne Ghana yeti. So bia fi say oni obi wa asem na sa ho kire eba. Wo di asem kokota. Enye den a wo behia emranimfo ama wakakujira wachi. Na se ekoba ni se ya ne de bia no ne ya dwen ne se ade na illegal section nko ano de bia controversy se no ya na ewo em se dru tubu ade ne so a ne wo ne ma bi ma meka afa ho na kwa me de ni nyina ne meka ne se empanyin for mo mo de aso mbetrase Ghana Legal Council for no mo trase na saadi we o mo hwe ni ye na o mo so nyo ma dwen se sa legal profession no preserved for a group of people. Intino, Ibinumum. Kwame Abana says, and Monsunka, Munkasa Fidia, my Monsun and Capobean said, also a Momo de Antimuma, Ibinumu Nanka, FM stations in the womb graziano. A better Yenya, a month for ma, or met me, I age mao. And into your best dress, and Yamabinumetis in Yana, and ma. Yanamuntu as or mine and coding because ye di never been say the bum na obi ehu se never be shase na obi a sheda no oyi bibia tesa no oti anyi ya na ebu nipa bum na ne meka nyina so ne se nipa na ye lecturers na wo ho no mi se o mo se ti zwampa se o se ne na sampa e ka no wa ko kire nipa o ha ade na emu adu no na omo apase na emu adu o twe na apase e fili ya na wankasa wo adichire no na lecture na wonso de na wo ye wonso ye nya wo den isabi school fees na nipa ni twetwa na yemfa bi ntua wo ka na asesai ebi se ye tia obi a ye hwe wadwuma wo ye so na yetimi de ahwe se o wadwuma wa ye no aso ani na okoko ye adwuma na safi na wa ba be ka kire so nkra be kire o ma de no emu 80% afili na 20% pe na e pass ya Kwame na wa so grant them say won se fata say won so obetra ho bi say students na abon na je say wo lecturer na wo so tro ma de wo so kra na je say wo so abon
we suspect
nti we ni nya dia so mo ya o mu fi say ebeba out no ye nyina na ebeji atum na e di blame no akobansa e betimi blame mo nyina ti ebe stress Ghana Legal Council for no Kwame
General Legal Council
a General Legal Council for no emra mu na e mehwesa ne ya
Kwame, the usage of Latin expressions are all towards frightening people and making them look special. there's probably more Latin in psychology and philosophy than in law, but these practitioners do not use Latin in practice. Look, the General Legal Council and the legal fraternity should stop this backward and fake importance. Almost all the humanities and allied professional courses don't demand a BSc in that course to do like BSc marketing before CIM, but the legal profession does. As if that is not enough, they are necessarily putting impediments in the way of LLB students to become professional lawyers. Let's no one fool you into believing that law is some difficult course than political science, philosophy, marketing, or psychology. It is not. Many of the best lawyers in this country, like the President Nana Akufo-Addo, had just 2 years classroom legal education. I am an LLB final year student, and I say it is not law. It is not. Lawyers through the General Legal Council with support from the Bar Association deliberately have created that elitist stature to continue to feel overly important. Many of our lecturers are also lecturers at Ghana Law School. So how can the LLB products be said to be inferior? And nobody who teaches there is not a lawyer. Everybody who teaches is a lawyer. So what is going on? This must stop. AJ in Bubeashi.
Now wakada
Amicus Korea. This one says we have 12 legal faculties feeding one law school. Kwame, that is where you should look at. 12 legal faculties feeding one law school. So you can imagine 700 people fighting for 200 seats. That is where we should look at. But Marian, Sadio Eje, Menko Losuku da, Nyadia Mekobi da.
But Kwame, your line of question, you can be a good lawyer.
But what I
want to see in the future in there, Kwame Sefa Kayi of Kokoko is now a member of the bench.
Hey, let my judge. But Professor Asari Eino Kayan, Fifi Edu brings a point that seems to support this. As Chairman General, I believe the 81% failure rate in the 2017 bar exams simply proves that the entrance exam and interviews designed to select quality students are not good assessment tools. They have failed the students just to prove a point. But Chairman General, you say they fear law, go do some and see. If you do, I don't go do some. Me like this one, I feel the way people would day my top. You go last meet.
That you now go day your top. People go day your top.
Who print that picture of papers? We went upside down.
Chairman General, good morning to you and your panelists. I get worried the way we handle issues. It's as if education has not been helpful. If we have a whole professional group as the bar and bench, and such issues are coming up as the way exams are conducted, to the extent some questions are cancelled in the exams hall because they are not fit for purpose and scripts get missing, then we need to think far. Ni in Bachona. But anyway, I said this was an aside, but it looks like, Chairman, this law school thing is like those days when Kweku Bakon used to play football in Laboni in the 60s. Whenever he saw the other team was beating him, he picked up the ball his father gave him and closed the match. That is what the law school is doing with these results. If we say we can't control the numbers, if you say we can't control the numbers, we will fail them. Jimmy says that one.
I know. I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised. Something drastic must be done about this law school matter. Some people just want to keep a cabal at the place. Kokosechi, Madina. Oyasemo. Somebody says you'd be a fantastic lawyer. Try it. Me, I won't come. And then this mass failure is unbelievable. I urge authorities to sit up and not allow this unprecedented achievement. Okay. Musa Batwa. Sometimes look beyond your political lenses. How does Nanado come into this matter? My daughter has an LLB from KNUST and an MA in law from the UK. Yet, Makola will still not admit her. She's at home right now doing nothing.
Wow.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oko KNUST Okunyani LLB, KNUST. Wakoye MA in law, or University of UK. But still, I have for say Babu. I pin so.
Is it space?
Hmm?
Infrastructure na. Remember the human resource of the be
Obviously, I listened to Kweku Ansa Asari on Joy FM this morning. He says similar results were recorded in the 50s when it all started. Also in 76, 1981, and I'm not, okay, 1948, we didn't have it. So I think this result thing should be looked at as a whole. Kingsley, thank you very, very much for that one. And then...
Ansa Asari.
Almost say in 1968, only 9 out of 123 passed the law school exams. In 1962.
And I suppose that was a conspiracy.
Well, I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. It is possibly was a conspiracy. But you see, Ojam, if it is that we can go as far back as 68, and we are experiencing it today, then that means there's even a bigger problem.
A bigger problem.
Then there's a bigger problem.
Well, may I move to the topic?
Let me tell you.
Na Aja.
Can't topic, no.
No, you know, aside.
Smuggled it in.
No, it wasn't smuggled.
The authority.
Order. Mass failure, pa. Anyway, Justice Atuguba. Alote, any comments?
Waka fa sama bo.
Ebasama.
Why me easy mama so I there. Word master Oluchum na. Sabi ete no won kakaka. Ebe di na sa fun.
I will take your call.
Aba so lo ba. Enya keni na be just suspension. Newa. Mejizi de Professor Atuguba ni research. Nje mase mbeyinfo awo Supreme Court there. Nje wojin tum wa supum. O sende oyimpe bia inform wo no ho. Nemu one tran ho ne one person no one hwe de ana nya Professor Atuguba Oregon oyanokwa. Because Madam Chief Justice performer Martin, you know, Abembia ba power judgment be also nja MBP for no ba power na NDC for no ba power until the judgment na them a case ebotuma I refer only them 2013 Supreme Court the judgment because Raymond Nala ne cousin or your Supreme Court judge
No one fan any cousin.
No one beautiful. And see now why a linkage in the data. And so easy wire bias or to them. And see me just there the perception here quickly Madebia perception more perception become the modus operandi of in our politics. The time beyond Bibisa Nedam. Sometimes all day yes so erase that impression out of our minds. Near democracy or Rukakan. Because issue of the bay and it will be good for law students there. What may enter on the for the ordinary man walking on the street, you know, yenta see there. On your them not in them more them intina or your them. Nemo say about near criticize the PR. People will say, Nays on your Nukwara in Supreme Court judges in Payfu into a bucket sizer. May notice Bibi, Mother, the Ora Atuguba, he's importing an alien system of research or law in this country.
What makes it alien?
The American system in Multi, we have the liberals and the conservatives. And look at the recent appointment of one person, Obama, answer no Orobokwan. and we appointee Judge B to the Supreme Court. And the Republicans are our House and Senate in Yan. They objected to the appointment of that man. And see, what they did was to set it aside. Now, Trump will be another person because he's a conservative. Now he's being accused. Remo Atubuga is being accused that he's trying to, in a way, in other them kind of system, Otubaba, Ghanaian politics, because he has criticized the appointing authorities there. Say, NDC and MPP no power no appoint to her who rulings is geared towards something to favor the government in power. So, like what happens in America, it's an alien to our system. But as we are practicing democracy, there is no difference between our system of democracy and that of America. Because you are combine both Westminster and then American system.
That is why there will be difference. Because we are not practicing the same wholesale. Because we say,
in every system there will be difference. In every system. So far as we are human beings, we will never think alike. Most of things saying. And see, whereas we will not think alike in. So obiti bibiba. For instance, Anas. So Anas and Kenya research. No one call on the ground. No one would there judges been more wajibraba. And wabejeza judiciary na anja wabeja to there they are corrupt. And there was an evidence. If we came to accept it there, yes, I think it is there. Because some judgments be or destroy homes or destroy families. Some judgments or destroy home and families. But I think that at a point in time, the Supreme Court was up to it. Madam Georgina Wood stood their grounds on making sure that some of them were dealt with. And she said, Atuguba or the Bibia Bar, woman interrogate us in ye. Don't let us go after him. No, I get no research or a damning research against the highest court of the land. No. Must painful, must Chief Justice. Chief Justice in the appointment here. One what jubilate even in our party, especially young man and lawyers. They know this woman very well. It was an excellent choice. Excellent choice. And she will live up to expectation. What do you mean? And say, me just there. Oma, yemu piya, aya wa agenda o. President Nana Akufo-Addo, wa aka appointee Sofia Akufo. Nti ochede bibi obe favor den. The man no fit adwunum. Oh, say yamba ya wo ye well-known lawyers, so one walk at the man yen. So I've come to respect the Chief Justice. And the must there in the course of them idea other bay was a yabeden momoi waden and empami easy. Was an abonichi momoi. Yazu yes bembia momoi hesitum. Now Yajani ye ne ya managing ye so Osen former if he obey Azibia obey trap ya debia yabori. No, if there will be accusations here and there. And say, Professor Atugubaso, no research in or avail to the public. Nah, Obiankin can be known Martin why he came out with this. It will help us.
Meda say, Kwesi Kwansa says, Kwame, I am a teacher in the UK. Over here in the UK, when my students don't do well in exams, I, the teacher, is held responsible. In Ghana, if a student doesn't do well, it's the child's problem. Let's think about it. Kwesi Kwansa. Let's be factual with our dealings. University of Ghana, KNUST and UCC, all of the above teach medicine. Do they need to write GMA exams before becoming doctors? Let's get serious. Shaibu in La. The methodology Professor Atuguba used was full of inaccuracy. From the days of Nkrumah through to Nanado's era, the judges have acted professionally. Ernest from Taifa. Until Professor Atuguba provides us with further and better particulars, you may be inviting us to embark on a wild goose chase. I have admired the Prof for his unwavering bravery, but I think he'll do his admirers and the country a lot more good if he makes his research findings available to the public, say Obama, Jakovic Academy. In the law profession, is the law profession meant for particular families? KNUST, UCC, and the private universities offer Bachelor of Law degrees. I hope the various controversies at the Ghana School of Law can be resolved if government resources KNUST and UCC to train professional lawyers, or the country doesn't need any more lawyers. Kweje Atebubu. It is sad this is happening in our professional law school. How will you feel as a lecturer if almost 81% of your students fail? This is very pathetic. I asked this question yesterday, but unfortunately it wasn't read. Can there be a different way of appointing Supreme Court justices rather than entrusting the power in the hands of the president? Professor Atuguba seems to have had a preconceived conclusion before embarking on the research. Kwesi Reynolds from Aguna Odo Bing. I agree with Professor Atuguba's survey. I know his methodology and the sample size he used. I think he used the election petition as his case study, where of all the issues that came up for voting during here, one particular panel member never voted in favor of the petitioners. Watching Paul Adomotri's documentary richly gave meaning to this perception. That is Diapim who sent that one. Well, if you listen to Professor Atuguba, he said he did 100 cases. 100. Does Alute Jacobs add more money to his tea and porridge? Abba, say Gadus.
And a jollof.
You never know. The issue of opening up the system of training of lawyers in Ghana for me requires a lot of political will and a leadership matter. Difficult to fathom that countless number of potential lawyers are out struggling to become one, to the extent that some have to simply travel abroad and pay heavily just to train as a lawyer, as our country could as well have benefited from that revenue. Sadly for me, my own NDC, which represents egalitarianism, stands accused in this matter. The party must demonstrate standing up and working for the people. It goes on. And then it says, the ratio in Ghana is 4,000 Ghanaians to one lawyer. In the US, it's 247 Americans, one lawyer. Koku Maoli na ba. We should not forget that we are dealing with a profession. We face similar problems at the medical schools, but it seems no one cares. And that is from Osibo in Takoradi. Okay, in as much as I understand that there's a problem, Kwame, these crop of students were also a handful. They boycotted the exams because they said some of the questions were under a different subject. You know what? They knew that the questions were going to be set by an independent exams body. Yet, they studiously stuck to what students call areas by a lecturer. Meanwhile, students on a different campus who had even answered the so-called Apostle questions with ease also boycotted the exams so they can have one voice. These are persons who must apply themselves when they come out of school, and yet they want to be spoon-fed. The students are simply taking advantage of the problem at the law school. I am not surprised at the results.
Is that a revelation?
The students were simply not prepared. I'll leave this name out for tactical reasons.
Is that a revelation?
Well, Kwame, in the year 1966, Master Afuakwa of the Anglican Middle School, Bueja Besianse near Bekwai, was carried shoulder high through the main streets of the town for successfully guiding that year's pupils to clock 100% in San 7. The credit went to him for a good job done. Now, the lecturers of the famous or infamous law students should bow their heads in shame. Ata short man, Bubuyashi. Hey, no wonder you're a short man. Asamo. Offer comments.
Yeah. Say we court na contempt abam. Because Mr. Munti
No, monkeys are playing by sizes.
We are bedroom. But Kwame, Yemfa agro to China. Yanka say no kwasimni atuguba. And some ya or Kanamakinka in the Kwame. I'm say Udika. Alutika bibi ewo ha no pe na mene no enyina na edwen ho se kwaku ne bai anasa momode amfa ne ade odi kata nanimi ankata nanim anko twitwa mfoni amfa mabonte Kwame
yeah, rasta week
enka menu mi no yeti asesi ye ebizize ne akoka se konfo ne se ko
who bondog
yakoka se judges akwakoje bribe and our judges ebinum ye corrupt menga so wonyina ye ne wan anything asema ya atugube kan I refer to all judges and asem no so kan no em say one sound partisan cry what chemu say NDC judges 22 are ya or more appoint to omo emu 14 political cases or more rule in favor of NDC. MPP so 16 appointed woman. Emu 13 almost one rule among political cases. Kwame Sasim we makan ye de bia mekanese. Democracy na ya ye di ebu ye man sisiano. Eno kra na ye alien. Ya mami kan say onkofa alien na yi ema. Na democracy na ye na alien. Alien
by Ajatu.
Good. Iti ada na wensu ni ejituma yiyi. Se what the banner say the sanity bi baba sister ni mu a yentimi nyintuma ni yiyi. Enti alien na ayi me mama chief justice e Canada e wono me kwa me ne nyadwe because system no kra na ye di bu man no sisi ada no kra no so ye alien. Ba kwa me ni nyina mu no. Usha se ni awukai. The research is based on about 100 cases. Not just say Okomupa you, and it is from Fourth Republic here, from 1993 up to 2018. Now, a woman is here currently. Sanima Winum say a pa a baby Nipani any ama Judge Bia Robert Track is Biasono. Also, who say why do you say nipa binum enhwe ne awo ya ebinum ehwe Kwame sa case ya obi say eno no dey yesterday be ayi your friend say election petition for 8 months no my position as a national organizer no every day na me work out na mi hunyama e course wo na nya ni nyina na ebetumi atra ha ye beka because what the panel body language ne niema be koso ne ne keka ka ho kra wo pefe say we ai na nadwen e komano wo bi models ni bidin ba wo pefe ruling ni so ba he no wo kenkan ya wo edu mi bi a wo say ne na niema eko eni ti edu mi bi a ya ye nipa isu de say e betra ha yanka ball na ye bo a kwaku ni pefe say wonu ye your friend say Manchester United anya me aduma kwese da ye ne omo e de be fi so ya e bitimi a che omo ana me nso me ye Chelsea
you are dreaming
no I have conditioner as you book
tell no anya sure
Chelsea a team awewu
easy enti Kwame eno krampo no obia woni a obo ye di pa die obia woni ope ye tie ye shata she obia ne kala ya ese no enti unya ye nipa na contrast na ye se asem ne ye kana ne keka ka ho a obi dia a oka ensem ya yeti ya ye kai ni ememe dia ya obi betie no se nipa na enemy nipa ti kromo abeka so se munu bia of ya so crowd studio wa oka sometimes so say some previous asem obeka na nko yikura na ni MBB for no ba je so me so be dia na nko kra na me dis for nye dan a omuntimi antobe ntro mbeba je so enti ya ye nipa di enye den a ebeba ne sa na ne me pese bibisa ne se Kwame judges ni di on bezo mo kire ze omo to abada
I want to about it.
I'm going to put no amount to aba.
I want to about
Eti ana na say cancer dey we ya na e ha omo. Ne ye pese ma obi ate ase ne say adwuma na ye dey ama no. Yes is see anything no mo hye sa we gene ne ne ma yes ne kira ase ne ne ma bebre. Ba medium ni say asase so ano. Wo na wo ye temuafo. Ye nim say overall temuafo ne ni nyame. Nti asase so ano wo na wo si nyame anan. Nti edru one de na so wo hye watare no e hye wo we gene enka fa wo party a yini nyina ye den eto nchen. Na buya asem ne se na be ya obi anya ho asem nka em se ye omokani na research ne de se nipa no ekono okobisa na sa amanfo na dwi ne ye omo no omo ka ho asem a eno ana beba Kwame me very sure say answer na announce kure bi obitu ana mo we no research bi ba ye ma na nkrofo e ka se edrum ri bi ansem a yedi no court no kra no it goes for the highest bidder nyena ekono be sa amre no na yini ahodin bia ni agina so bia obaba be gina bonten aga se ye agibia kwaji meteku ana kwaji mesempo akusimra afi yi hu mbonjine ana edi ehim you know inti Kwame eno no de na wohwe atuguba ne nsem na wo kanwa ebe stress yenya nipa binim sa na so mo de dem bi ba outa yenya botre na yenhwehwem na menia mesre ne say omomodiana on publishing and research no sania alute kan maye nyina yen kenkan em say just say em short so kra aka the same thing say omomodiana on publishing that na you right Kwame because the time I make us them say or see and say oh your research be about police administration
and also he left it open very vague one check
good
IGP me IGP no smart put 8 armed policemen. He didn't mention which.
What's the police phones you know one thing from Marcus Agasi? Oh, appear bizarre to go and Angasa. Now I show one who there, yes.
You see, Kwame, yet, Sabi Yankora, who share Emra, a Chachune case ya or they call quarter. If we are just as a Fred Bermu. Obemua it me review die I no chachu and I'm so say yes eventually yes I could be na some dey too ma 5 years say say na name we ni na Kwame ya na edi enema bi ba ma wo trans apart from emra na ye revolution ene de obi betimi akase bi kura betimi afredi para ka che ne say we na me pesa wo ye no say ya ba democratic rule say South of Republic na say research we aba churches ne so nyintum say omusu ye nipa
okay
efo so betimi aba omo
efo so nipa
so mu ye bia na omo nye no mo correct na yenya gidi o mumu a omani betimi atumpo
Kwame, if Professor Atuguba had said that judges decide according to their ideological inclination, I would have had no problem. To say that they decide according to the party that appointed them is below the bar. And he was mischievous, knowing that numerically there were more NDC appointees. He converts to percentage to draw a wrong picture, and that is Brichum with his thoughts. And then Wafayao Jan, Manchester United is already scared of Chelsea. They've started playing the mind games. They were hoping Barcelona would beat us yesterday, but on a bad day for Chelsea, Barcelona has nothing. He knows it. Tonight Sevilla will beat United. And on Sunday, we'll add the cherry to the cake. Thank you, Wafayabwa Tingjan. Okuku Seku Kwabna Pokum. I'm sure Kweku Baku say you just spoke Chinese. Chairman General Professor Atuguba has to publish his research for us to be able to make a critique of his methodology and how he arrived at his findings. We need to see all the cases he looked at. He would also have to tell us if by voting in line with a party that appoints you means the reasons they give for voting is not sound legally. There are so many things he has to clarify. He is an academic, and as an academic, we expect much more from him. The attempt to say he is listening to wise counsel, and that will determine if he publishes it or not, is simply cowardice and unacceptable. The research must be published. Bugri with his thoughts. Having attained my own LLB, waiting to do my LLM and LPC, I can attest to how difficult the law course is. But with good lecturing, student commitment, and availability of needed materials, an average student should be able to come